The following is an article from Cleveland.com, written by Troy L. Smith, read by some dude. Meet the artist who created Jay-Z's stunning Rock and Roll Hall of Fame painting. Cleveland, Ohio. It started with a conversation. This past summer, New Orleans artist Jerin Beasley sat down with one of the city's restaurateurs to develop an art project. 6 months later, the resulting work will become a showstopper in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 2021 inductee exhibit, which opened October 24th. The work of art, titled Tree of Life, is a 72-inch by 96-inch oil painting depicting inductee Jay-Z in vibrant colors, with his dreadlocks morphing into a tree. The canvas has had quite the journey to Cleveland. In June, Beasley linked up with New Orleans entrepreneur Larry Morrow to create something for the latter's Treehouse Cocktail Bar. They wanted to feature a prominent pop culture figure settling on Jay-Z, who, along with wife Beyonce, owned a 13,292 square foot home in New Orleans' historic Garden District. Once Jay-Z's name came up, we started talking about how we could turn his hair into branches, because the name of the spot was Treehouse, recalls Beasley. I went home, sketched it up, and went over a few different concepts. Once I started painting it, I knew it was going to be special. Beasley spent a month working on Tree of Life. He estimates he put in 10 to 12 hours a day going over details and painting in layer upon layer. There was a different feeling with this painting, Beasley remembers. I was creating this in my studio, and everyone would come in and be like, "Man, you've done hundreds and hundreds of paintings, but this is going to be special. You're going to get some phone calls about this one." When it was finished, images of Tree of Life hit social media and went viral in a matter of days. Members of Jay-Z's Rock Nation team started reaching out. Beasley was traveling in California when he was included in a text message exchange that included Jay-Z. The music legend wanted to purchase Tree of Life. I actually lost my entire train of thought. I don't think I ate anything that whole weekend, says Beasley. A lot of people paint pictures of celebrities. They get millions of people giving them paintings of themselves, but they're not buying paintings of themselves. At the same time, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's curatorial staff had reached out to Jay-Z's team to see what the rap icon would be willing to contribute to the class of 2021 inductee exhibit. Jay-Z decided Tree of Life would be the perfect thing to encapsulate his musical legacy. We sent photos of what we'd done in the past, and Jay-Z's team shared with what his interpretation was of his success and what it means to him. It was all in that painting, says Nawaka Onwusa, Vice President and Chief Curator at Rock Hall. It's so in line with who he is now, and his fans will appreciate and understand that. Music is art, and art is music in a way. Tree of Life marks a new chapter in Beasley's career. Born and raised in New Orleans, Beasley says he developed a love for art at a young age, but it was Hurricane Katrina, the devastating storm that shook New Orleans in 2005, that reshaped his outlook on art. At that time, I was 21, 22 years old, and I lost my job, Beasley remembers. That, along with the Katrina, forced me to dig deep into where I was at and what I wanted to do. Just like the pandemic is doing to people now. Following Hurricane Katrina, Beasley joined forces with friend and collaborator Jonathan John Hamilton to create Jerk and John, a fashion and art luxury lifestyle brand that took up shop in New Orleans' French Quarter in 2014. Beasley turned his attention to other endeavors, including creating portraits focused on hip-hop culture at a time when the genre's biggest stars were embracing high-end art. When the clothing line fell apart, that was the time when art was becoming a big deal in hip-hop, says Beasley. Jay-Z and Kanye West released Watch the Throne, and then Jay released Magna Carta, Holy Grail. You had Swiss Beats getting into contemporary art, and all these different artists in hip-hop culture were rapping about how cool art was. That's when I took into consideration where things were going and started to put my full-time effort into creating what you see now. Beasley says the popularity of Tree of Life has him restructuring his business a bit when it comes to pricing, licensing, and corporate projects. And while he won't say how much Jay-Z paid for Tree of Life, Beasley insists it was never about the money. Him reaching out, at the end of the day, is priceless, says Beasley. So him paying for it is a bonus. He could have been like, give me that painting, and I would have paid for shipping or drove it somewhere for him. I'm just so grateful.
Scorpio.
Take over their space, no face, no case. I will erase them, I will replace them. Such party, glad we found them. No chalkboard, chalk around them. No pencil with lead, lead up in them. Step into this like a slim gym. We got a project, teacher wanna know the name. Put in ingredients after I lit the flame. Project banger, what the fuck? 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 Project banger.